both of you guys have been to the WWE after WCW. You guys were in the locker rooms. You guys were in the system. Um, Crowbar, I know you wrestled John Cena in a dark match, correct?
Yes.
So what was it?
When you saw the prototype. Yep.
Grizzly
Yeah.
shits.
Was John Cena the shits, Crowbar?
I thought he was great. I publicly said it that I thought he had. I actually went out on a limb on an interview that followed that and said that he was going to be awesome. It's somewhere.
That's good.
Got it. So the headline to this clip would be Allan Funk said John Cena's the shits. But anyway,
whatever you got to do. There's your shit stir right there.
Yeah. But what was it like?
I want to change my answer.
What was it like being a former WCW talent in a different locker room when you guys got there? Were you treated? Did people, hey, Crowbar, hey, Queewee, do they know who you were? They treat you with respect, or are you just another guy having to prove yourself all over again when you step foot?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
Oh, you want him to start?
No, you, Allan.
Well, for me, it was a little bit of both. There were certain guys, Scotty Too Hotty, took to me because I had my hair the way he had his. The Hardy Boys was always cool. JBL was cool. Kane, I mean, there. Of course, Bob Holly was kind of a dick. I never did shake that guy's hand. He was always just so standoffish, and it just I didn't even want to shake his hand. I was waiting for him to start some shit with me actually a couple different times, but for the most part it was good. But I will say this: after we got released, I went back to a show in Atlanta. I got booked to be an extra, so they paid me. So we're in the back. I had my gear and stuff, so I take my bag. I go in the locker room and just set my bag up against like the wall, Well, here comes Steamboat and Arn Anderson. And now I worked with Steamboat in TNA for a while, and I was good friends with him there. And then, I worked for Arn for, he was my agent almost every damn match I ever had in WCW for years. So, so me and Arn had a past. Well, they acted like they didn't fucking even know me when I walked in that locker room. They made me take my bag. They said, get your bag and get it out of the locker room. And I thought he was ripping me. And I said, Arn, you serious? He goes, get your fucking bag and get it out of the locker room. I said, well, I thought I was one of the boys, Arn. Like, I'm just putting my bag in here in case, I do something, or I want to change in here when we go to the ring. Because, when you're an extra like that, they want you to put your gear on, go to the ring and do some stuff. And they always had guys out there watching you. And he wasn't kidding. They said, get your shit. I said, well, where do you want me to put it, Arn? He goes, take it wherever you want. Put it in the hallway. I don't give a shit. Just get it out of the locker room. He said, you're not one of the boys. And I was like, you motherfucker, man. Like, I felt like a fucking, this tall dude. Like, it fucking made me feel terrible.
I didn't know that story.
Wow.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Chris, what was it like for you backstage?
Everybody was nice. Everybody was cordial. They knew who I was. They knew my style. Everybody I worked with was cool, but I knew realistically going in, WCW had folded or been sold. ECW was gone, and there was just a log jam of talent going there all at one time. And there's tons of talent, limited amount of spaces. So I knew I was already, the behind the eight ball. I was very hopeful. I would go there, work hard, and enjoy myself. I got to work John Cena at the Spectrum, got to work at the Garden, which was awesome. But I knew that the odds were ultimately against me. And that's kind of when I transitioned my life from, full-time pro wrestler, part-time physical therapist to full-time physical therapist, part-time wrestler. I wanted to try to make it. I really did. I did everything I could to make dark matches here and there, but I knew the whole time that the odds were against me just because you had so much talent and only a little bit were going to be allowed in. And I just wasn't an upper card guy.
Yeah. Who'd you wrestle at the Garden?
El Gran Apollo.
Who's that?
El Gran Apollo. That's El Gran Apollo.
From Puerto Rico, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I wrestled him in TNA. Big guy.
My match was better than yours.
Chop the shit out of you. Well, hey, it was me and Lenny Lane against him and Bagwell, so you're probably right.
No, but it was the Garden, so it was really cool.
But you're right. Like when we got there, you're right about this. I try to explain this to people, how they're like, well, how do you not get a job after you've been in WCW and da. I said, look at it this way. You got how many NFL teams are there? 26 teams?
Yep.
Okay, so take 90% of those teams and beat it. And you got all these teams with all these guys. Where's everybody going?
You got one team.
Yeah, you got 2 or 3 teams, and you got enough guys for 26 teams. So somebody's got to go somewhere. And there's only so many spots, man. And the guys that came in from WCW, in my opinion, from what I saw down in HWA and OVW with Cena and Orton and all the guys that came from Memphis, like Umaga and Rosie and Jamal and all them guys, dude, WCW guys didn't have a prayer. They treated us like shit. Every time we went to a WWE show, we begged for dark matches. The only one, guess who got dark matches? Brock Lesnar, John Cena, all the guys from that was already on their deal, Randy Orton, before we got there. So we never even had a chance to get a dark match. I think the only guy that ever had a dark match was Johnny the Bull wrestled Rob Van Dam when we were in Alabama. Nobody else got a dark match.
Not only did the full roster, but they had so many studs waiting to be called up as well.
Well, all the guys that became their top guys were wrestling with us in OVW and HWA.